Throughout his career, the 35-year-old Terence Crawford has racked up an impressive record of 39 wins and 0 losses, with 30 of those wins coming by way of stunning knockout. With his insane speed, scary power, and high fight IQ, Crawford is a problem for anyone in the welterweight division. Many are picking him to take the victory over Errol Spence Jr. in their upcoming bout. With that in mind, let's take a look at the unbelievable speed and power of Terence Crawford. Blink and you'll miss the knockouts. Crawford versus Avanesian. In his world title fight against the tough contender David Avanesian, Crawford showed why he deserves to be called number 1, as he used his speed and power to dismantle his opponent in stunning fashion. Throughout the bout, Crawford used sharp and snappy straights to keep Avanesian at range, right where he was at his weakest. When things did get close, Crawford would use a Philly shell guard and quickly head movement to evade punches and come back with crisp counters. And in round 6, Terence showed his insane power. After pulling back from a right hand, he landed a right hook of his own straight on the temple of Avanesian. This sent David to the canvas in an instant. David was seen flat on his back for seemingly minutes before getting up and realizing where he was. By that point, it was too late and the fight was over. Crawford's power had sent Avanesian to a different place. Crawford versus Molina Jr. Coming into this fight, John Molina Jr. was seen as a tough test for Crawford. He had 19 wins and a tricky style. But once again, Crawford's speed and power proved too much against his fellow American. Throughout the course of the bout, Crawford would use his slick footwork to pivot around Molina, allowing him to evade incoming shots and pop back punches from tricky angles. Molina looked confused in the ring and could barely land a shot. Even the commentators labeled this fight as a mismatch, and in the 8th round, the world mismatch was proven in stunning fashion. Crawford landed a thunderous backhand to Molina's stomach, which sent him cowering back to the corner. Crawford then capitalized, hammering a huge combination to the American's head and body. 3 consecutive right hooks sent Molina to the floor, and the ref immediately waved the bout off. Crawford versus Gene. Crawford once again proved doubters wrong in his emphatic win against Dr. Gene. Throughout the course of the fight, Crawford dominated the rounds, and in the 9th, he put his foot on the gas. Gene landed a solid right hand on Crawford's chin. Instead of cowering, Crawford retaliated with a devastating hook, which sent Gene to his knees. The hook was so fast that even the commentators hardly saw it. Gene managed to get back up, but he barely survived, and in the 10th round, he was a sitting duck for Crawford to unload on. In the 10th, Crawford unloaded with a flurry of punches from a southpaw stance, which completely bewildered his opponent. Towards the end of the round, Crawford trapped Gene in the corner of the ring, allowing him to land a devastating combo that almost sent Gene through the ropes. The ref was forced to step in, adding another KO to Crawford's stellar record. Crawford versus Delorme. In this world title bout, Crawford showed his ability to marry his speed and power into a stunning KO. In round 6, Crawford hammered Delorme with a lightning-fast jab-cross combination, which sent him flying into the ropes. Crawford used his quick footwork to talk his prey and land another flurry of punches, causing his opponent to take a knee. Delorme managed to get back to his feet. However, just seconds later, Crawford pinned Delorme into a corner, forcing him to use his head movements to evade danger. Delorme did manage to avoid a few shots, but not all of them. Crawford landed 2 right hands in quick succession, which put his opponent down and rolling on the floor. Once again, Delorme returned to his feet. But Delorme was unable to survive the round. Another lightning-fast chain of punches forced the referee to step in, leading to a quick night's work for the American. Crawford versus Diaz. Terence Crawford put on another sensational performance in Madison Square Garden in his title fight against Felix Diaz. As early as round 2, the gap in skill was displayed when Crawford landed a heavy overhand left on the temple of Diaz, sending him crashing to the floor. The situation didn't get better for Diaz in round 3, and he was saved by the bell after Crawford landed a quick 1-1-2 on his face. In round 10, Crawford started to tease the dazed and confused Diaz, tapping him on the forehead with harmless punches. And after being beaten up for the entirety of round 10, absorbing hooks, straights, and uppercuts, Diaz's corner decided that enough was enough and threw in the towel. Diaz showed that he had the heart of a lion that night, but Crawford proved that he had the speed and power of a tiger. Crawford versus Porter. Shawn Porter proved to be one of Crawford's toughest tests in the ring. He was able to land on Crawford throughout the rounds and even won a few of the trades that the two engaged in. However, in the end, even Porter was unable to take the power and speed of Crawford's punches. In round 10, Crawford landed a lightning-fast right hook left straight combination that sent Porter to the ground immediately. This combination was so quick that you actually had to slow the footage down to see it properly. Porter was unable to recover in time, and in the same round, Crawford landed a huge flurry of punches, sending him to the canvas for the second time. Porter's frustrations were evident as he punched the floor multiple times while the clock ticked. He never made it back to his feet. Porter put up one hell of a fight and showed that Crawford was not invincible. However, the speed and power difference was the winning factor in this fight. Crawford versus Brook. Kell Brook was another big test for Crawford. He may have been on the tail end of his career, but he was still more than capable of stopping the American. Well, Crawford made sure nothing of the sort happened. Despite having a bit of success early on, Brook quickly realized that he was the slower and less powerful man in the ring, and in the end, he was unable to evade the American's power. In round 4, Crawford landed a stiff right hand, sending Brook flying into the ropes, completely bewildered. After landing a few more punches, the referee stepped in to break up the engagement. Brook was given a standing count and managed to carry on. But in the same round, Crawford unloaded another huge flurry, and the referee had seen enough. He quickly stepped in and called the fight off to protect the man from England. So, the speed and power of Terence Crawford are absolutely undeniable. This man looks completely unbeatable right now, and anyone who steps in the ring with him is in serious danger. Let us know in the comments who you think can dethrone this king, and comment your favorite Crawford highlight. And with that, we'll see you in the next one, fight fans.